All right, the very first thing I want to talk about, which is crazy if you guys heard about this. So, of course, the fires have been going on. They're getting a little bit more control, but I know that people are worried about the winds this week. But Ricky Lake actually came forward and said, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this guy before, but Tyler Henry has a Netflix special. He's been helping a lot of people out. He's a psychic. He's out there telling all these different stories and like connecting them with loved ones and helping them with ghosts and meet people. I've seen this before. He's actually very talented. Some of the stuff he said, but the Ricky Lake 3 months ago said that she was going to experience a big fire and she just lost her house now in the fire. It's crazy. And she even came forward and said, go back and watch the Netflix special and see it, because it blew her mind that she's like, that hasn't happened to me yet. But then all of a sudden this medium comes forward and said this 3 months ago, and now the fire has happened. So many people have lost their homes. It's really sad. The Pacific Palisades, especially Altadena, and hopefully with this new big gust of wind coming, I hope it doesn't happen more. Only time will have to tell, but we'll see. And somebody else that's out there helping people right now is Meghan Markle, GR's favorite out there. Meghan Markle, his best friend. I think they went and played some cribbage recently, right, GR? You played some cribbage with Meghan Markle. That was fun.
I whooped her ass.
You whooped her ass. There you go. But we'll find out. I think it's episode 5 of her show, GR. That's delayed, by the way, though. It's going to be delayed.
Like whooping.
Whoa, GR. Maybe she did. But I will tell you, she got the whole support of Netflix. They decided to push the show that was supposed to be like, the Love Meghan show was supposed to come out January 15th, push it to March 4th because of the wildfires. Now she's going out and she's been meeting with a bunch of victims in Los Angeles, volunteering and helping people out in Southern California here, of course, trying to help out the efforts. Now, she had some backlash last week from different people being like, you're tone deaf, you're kind of like not like understand what's happening in the world right now. They're releasing this show, and I think this kind of came into that where she's like, yeah, maybe we should wait, because this does showcase a lot of California, and it's like supposed to be like showcasing the city for what it is, and now it's burning down. So they're waiting. But we'll see how it happens. I mean, I think this will still do great. I know GR doesn't think so, but I think it still will do great. Just like I feel like when we eventually get it, American Psycho, the reboot, I think will do great, guys. And now it's been called fake news. We had a whole conversation about this a few months ago. When it was announced, everyone's calling it fake news by the author, Bret Easton. He was the first person that said it. But recently, Luca Ginagino, I probably butchered his name, came forward and said the movie is in the works. He's behind it right now. They are talking to cast members. Apparently, Austin Butler is one to take over to be the lead in this movie for the reboot. Nothing's official yet. It's been in the works for a while, but they're saying the script should be done in the next couple weeks, and then we'll get more information about moving forward. So if you're an American Psycho fan, I don't know how you can actually have anybody replace Christian Bale here. I don't know if we should actually be touching this movie, but we are going to try it. And I'm excited about, I will have a sequel to this more than anything else, but we're going to find out maybe this reboot will be good. Let me know. We've been waiting a long time, just like a long time has been happening to find out what was in that duffel bag in 7. If you watched 7, everybody, there was a whole thing. The whole thing about like, was there a head in there? People had a whole rumor that they put an actual head from like Gwyneth Paltrow in there to actually like be like the exact weight, and they had measured her head and found out what that was. And Fincher came forward and said, no, that's ridiculous. I think we've gotten like a 7 or an 8 pound bag. They thought that would be kind of be like right for the weight, but we didn't have that before. They actually put a wig in the bag too, he said, but you weren't supposed to see it. They didn't make a whole head of her at all. There was actually a wig with a little bit of blood on there to give the effect, but the idea was never see it or show it. But it was supposed to be her head in there, which again, what a great movie, 7. I loved it so much. But this news comes like what, 28 years later? And 28 years later is coming to the movie. Again, a movie I've been waiting for a long time for. But Andrew McDonald came forward, who is one of the producers on here, and he said that he wanted Cillian Murphy in the movie, but Cillian Murphy won't appear in the film, is what he's saying. Even though it was that zombie, there was that zombie in the trailer. Everybody's like, oh, this is Cillian Murphy dead. And I said before it wasn't. And McDonald actually said that his fiance was actually saying that people would think that it was Cillian Murphy. And he's like, no, they won't. And say he's eating humble pie now because people thought that the whole time, or his girlfriend, not his fiance. And I'm like, yeah, everyone thought that. But there's still that whole thing where Ralph Fiennes was saying that, Cillian Murphy's going to be in these movies in the end of the first one and then coming in bigger part in the second one. So is the producer trying to shake that off? Is maybe like, maybe that Ralph Fiennes like think something he wasn't supposed to? We'll have to wait and find out this June when 28 years later comes out. Very, very interesting. But again, a lot of Wicked disease out there for 28 years later. And Wicked also is doing great, everybody. Wicked has dropped, of course, the streaming. Talk about this now. And in streaming, it is racked up. In its first day, it made $26 million. And it was $20 to actually rent, $30 to buy. And over its first week, it made $70 million. Big hit, biggest Universal, big budget musical that's dropped. Made the most money for, again, streaming. But if you look at this one way, Super Mario Brothers made like over $1 billion, one of the biggest movies ever for Universal. That made $44 million its opening week. This made $70. So people really check this out streaming. So they're really excited about this. And of course, Wicked 2 is still coming. And we're going to get more. We get more. So we're getting more John Wick. We keep getting more and more. I mean, every week we're talking about another John Wick project. I mean, honestly, I think it was last week we talked about like the other John Wick spinoff, Ballerina, and they're working about another one. But now we have Lionsgate's considering tapping Donnie Yen to direct the John Wick spinoff involving Yen's character Kane from the actual last John Wick 4. And he said, yes, he's been talking to him. It's in the works. They're trying to make this happen. And the film is being written right now by Robert Askins. And if you like Yen, he's going to reprise his character. He's going to come back and they're going to actually move forward with this. And this is after he was freed from his obligations of the high table. So it's interesting. I guess we're doing too much John Wick. I love John Wick. I think it's a little bit too much, maybe a little bit too much. I mean, I'm all about John Wick, but if Keanu's not here, how big can this universe get? And Secret Agent Man, like, Wicked is not for everybody. He's not. I didn't think it would be for me. I enjoyed it. So you never know, Secret Agent Man. Secret Agent Man. It might be good. And come on, Steve Rogers. You know, we have your musical. You have Captain America, the musical, or Avengers musical, Captain Rogers, or Steve Rogers. So come on, man. Give it a chance. Give it a chance. Give it a chance, and we'll see what happens. Because, of course, maybe John Wick will be back in these two. Maybe he'll be resurrected because everyone keeps saying he's not dead yet. We're doing John Wick 5. And apparently we're going to do another Passion of the Christ. We've talked about this a while, but Mel Gibson's back in the news. And Mel Gibson, guys, who listens to Mel Gibson these days? I don't know. People do, apparently. Mel Gibson's back in the news, and he's talking about doing his second Passion of the Christ. We talked about this a while ago. He's trying to do 3 of these things. He worked on the script for 7 years. He wants to call it Resurrection of Christ, and he wants to go to hell, and he wants to showcase everything that happens with Jesus here on earth and all this stuff. So he's still very much about this. He wants to bring back Henry Cavill. Give me a womp on that one. Again, Jim Caviezel. Otherwise, Jim Caviezel. I will call Cavill Caviezel to be Jesus too. So if you love that, get ready for more Jesus and Mel Gibson in the director's chair. Interesting. He's not going away. There's a lot of controversy for him. Just like, of course, Bill Maher has controversy constantly. And Bill Maher's not done either. He says he's not done because there was a rumor like once the elections were done, he said, I'm going to be done from real time, stepping away. He said the whole thing. He said it on his podcast. He was high and drunk, but that happens. You know, maybe that's why he said it. But, you know, so he forgot. And now he's on CNN and be like, oh, no, I'm not leaving my show. They're not going to have to drag me off this show. I'm like, dude,
Friday, Brian?
This was on a Friday. Yeah. He said it.
Yeah. That makes sense that he was drunk.
Yeah, right. That's what happens. You just, you're drunk and whatever he was, he just probably just remembered. But he did say, I'm surprised no one played the clip back from like, see, you said it yourself, man. That's why everybody's saying it. I don't know, but he's not going anywhere. He's coming back to real time. And Heidi Klum is coming back to, again, Project Runway. Exiting after the fashion competition ended in series in 2018 it ended. That's when she left, actually. And then she's coming back now. She was there for a long time. She started in the beginning. She left because she wanted to move on to other things. I think, maybe it was something to do with America's Got Talent, though. But it's been renewed for a 21st season. When it was renewed for Freeform, she said she's coming back. It's going to be Disney and Freeform. They'll run 10 episodes. And she's excited to come back. She did the first 16 seasons, and now she's coming back to move forward. And hopefully, if you're a fan of it, you're excited because Heidi Klum's amazing. I love her so much. She's great. I love her in America's Got Talent. I love her as a talent. She's great. I know Ron probably loves her too, right, Ron?
I love her, and that show was missing her. In fact, I stopped watching when she left. I was out of there.
There we go. Ron, I believe it. I bet a lot of people did. I bet there'd be a lot of people running back, but a lot of breaking news, everybody.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pepestar needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.